You are tuned in to Kids
In the Pit.
Hey guys, it's Gabe
and Lucy
from the Kids in the Pit podcast. Today we are joined by Lori and Gina from the organization Women in the Pit.
Hi. We met both of you on the Sick of It All Life of Agony tour a couple weeks ago.
Mind if I ask you some questions?
Sure.
No, go right ahead. You guys can both answer any of these if you want to. So,
okay.
So what is Women of the Pit and what do you do?
Okay, well, Women of the Pit is a charity nonprofit organization. We're dedicated to connecting with and highlighting women of the hardcore punk community. And
cool.
We have some social media. Yeah, we have some social media, Facebook and Instagram. And we feature everyone from bands to fans and everyone in the music business in between to help just highlight. And we also like to promote shows, and we like to get diversity in our shows. So that's what we're
I was going to say
about.
We do that. We promote women in hardcore and punk and music in a lot of different ways. We do shows. We have our own little podcast, I guess you would call it, our non-podcast.
That's cool.
We have on our social media. Yeah, we are officially incorporated and we are in the process of becoming an official 501c3 nonprofit. So that's really exciting for us to be an actual organization. Yeah, legit.
Nice. So how long has Women of the Pit been a thing?
So we started at the end of 2020, and this was, in the dark ages when they shut down the shows for the pandemic. And a lot of us actually met in the chat room of the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live with Drew Stone. And some of the women got to talking, and we thought that it would be nice to have a little space of our own to just kind of meet each other and socialize while the shows were shut down. And we found that actually a lot of us had, either stopped or slowed down going to shows due to the fact that, we were raising our kids, we were starting jobs, moving around, moving away from your friends, getting a little bit older, so we were trying to encourage women to go back to shows by, kind of linking up with each other so you'd have somebody to go with.
That's cool.
That's how we started. Yeah.
I have part of the CD right here, and one of my favorite songs is number 10. It's Death Pill, Go Your Way by Death Pill, obviously. Yeah, I really like them.
Fantastic.
The Ukrainian band. Yeah. So that CD was it was sort of a dream of ours to we have been highlighting some bands on our social media and also on Drew Stone's New York Hardcore Chronicles show. And we would joke around, wouldn't it be cool if we had a CD with all of these bands compiled from all around the world? And then it so happened I met Kim Kanjemi at a show, and we just were brainstorming on how we can collaborate. And one thing led to another. And she basically held our hand through the process. And now we have a CD compilation.
That's
and it's just an example of how when people work together, good things can happen.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you enjoy it.
Yeah. All right. So how do people follow Women of the Pit?
So our IG account, so Women of the Pit on IG. So that's the best place. And we also have a private page for ladies to just chat and share good news and, hey, I'm going to a show in Chicago. Who's going? Type of thing on Facebook. So those two places. Yeah.
Are you okay, Gabe?
And also, we also have a band camp now where we have our CD.
Yeah.
So we have our band camp
cool.
there if you want to check it out. So it's 16 bands from around the world. And if you like it and you purchase it, all the money goes to a good cause. It goes to Global Fund for Women, who helps promote gender
They
equality.
around the world. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So Global Fund for Women fights for equal rights and gender equality for women all around the world. And they are especially important because of what is happening with the laws pertaining to women, not only in our country, but all around. Yeah. So that's super important to us too.
That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So where did you guys
Right.
grow up, and do you still live there?
Where I grew up in New Jersey, I'm not in the same town that I grew up in because I wouldn't have lasted there, but I do still live in New Jersey. Yeah. I lived in Brooklyn for a while. That was fun. Like like Lori was talking before about when we were going to shows when we were younger, and now that we're, not younger. So when I was younger, I lived in Brooklyn and I used to go to the shows all the time. And then I moved back to Jersey and raised my family. I have 2 kids, and kids,
Really?
my kids are not on stage singing along with Madball in their free time, like some of you might be. So I spent a lot of my time on soccer fields and softball fields and basketball courts when my kids were younger. And now that they're
I love that
older,
expression, not younger. I love that. That's how we'll describe ourselves from now on.
yeah.
It's not old, we're just not younger. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm, What was your first punk, metal, or hardcore show you attended to, and how old were you?
So
Go ahead,
let
Lori.
me just get back to
You can
questions.
start.
So if you've noticed, I'm from Long Island, and that's where I was raised. Moved to England, then Montreal, and now I'm in Cape Cod. Okay, so that
Wow.
was the answer to the last question. But the first metal show that I went to was actually Iron Maiden with a
Wow.
Fastway opening. I was 14 years old. I begged my mom to bring me to this show. She did not want to take me, but she took me and my 2 friends, and it was amazing.
That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
So my first show, it's a little fuzzy for me, but I went to my first big concert, because there's a difference between like big concerts, right? And then the show. So my first big concert was Van Halen. And I don't know if they actually qualify as metal, but I loved Van Halen when I was a kid. And I brought my camera, and the second time I saw them, we had waited in line all night for tickets because that's what you used to have to do. And I had second row, and I took my camera and I took photos of Van Halen when I was a kid. And this is important for later on. But my first hardcore or punk show, I was at I think my very, very first one was at this club called L'Amour's in Brooklyn. And I was 15 and I had snuck out, and the drinking age was 18. These were bars, clubs, so you had to be 18 to get in, and I was 15. And I think I'm going to leave the rest of the story out.
Don't give them any ideas. Don't give them any ideas.
But from going to that club, people started, back then people would hand out flyers for shows, and someone handed me a flyer that was like, oh, come to CB's on Sunday. And we were like, Sunday? Who goes out on Sundays? And it was like, no, it's a matinee. It's super fun. Come on down. And that was the first time I saw Agnostic Front.
Oh,
It was
nice.
on a
Wow.
Sunday matinee at
Wow.
CB's. Yeah.
Nice. I used to go to L'Amour's too, and it's crazy that we
Yeah.
did that. It's
Yeah.
crazy that we did that back then.
Yeah. So a lot of Lori's and I stories are like parallel, but we didn't know each other from back then. Like I also was at the Iron Maiden concert that she was at with my mom. My mom took me. It's just funny that we lived like these parallel lives and didn't meet. So I'm glad we're friends
That's
now.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. We met at the right time.
So what are some of your favorite bands of all time, and what are some bands you suggest people go see live?
You're good at this, Lori.
Wow. Okay. So I started out as a metal girl. So I'm gonna say Judas Priest and Black Sabbath were like my earliest favorite bands, like of the hard music, I liked Blondie and like Pat Benatar before that, but my favorite hard bands with Judas Priest is one of my favorites of all time. I love thrash metal. I love bands like Overkill and Death Angel and Testament.
Nice.
I'm blanking. Then
No.
of course, I mean, hardcore. I love, Gorilla Biscuits and Sick of It All and Leeway and the Crumbsuckers and Agnostic Fronts and oh my gosh, my first hardcore show was a Cro-Mag show with Anthrax and Metal Church.
Right.
So
Well, that's
kind of
that.
like the
So I was there
gateway.
too. Right.
Yeah.
Yes, I was at that too. That was at Lemore's, but I didn't count that one. But yeah, the Cro-Mags were probably one of the first bands that I saw that I loved.
Yeah, they were like one of those like crossover, that grabbed us all in,
It was
So.
like, what is even happening? And the Bad Brains too. So for me, if I had to pick one band from back then, like my favorite band to see live, it would probably be the Bad Brains. Because
Wow.
I've never seen anything like that before to this day. I didn't get to see, so Minor Threat is like a band I wish I would have seen live
Oh,
back
me
then,
too.
which
And
I
I never
didn't.
saw them. Yeah.
No, I never got to see them. But as far
Yeah.
as like my favorite bands, my bands change all the time. And I'm going to say what I've been listening to on repeat is our CD, is the Women of the Pit Stronger Together CD. I just have it like right now, every band that's on there is my favorite. Every one of them. 16 of those 16 bands, every song is good. And I love how they all have their unique style and they all have like a really powerful message, every single one of those bands.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
amazing. I like them all.
Oh,
Yeah, and
thanks.
there's so much good
So,
music.
where is your favorite place in the world you have traveled or
Oh,
lived?
Oh my gosh.
well, I've traveled a lot, but I've only lived in Jersey and Brooklyn, but Lori's lived all over the place.
Yeah, I've lived in England and Montreal. England was beautiful. My favorite place in the world to visit, though, is actually Ukraine. It's a beautiful country, beautiful cities. Lviv was probably my favorite. And I adopted my daughter from there, so I'm kind of partial, I spent 5 weeks there and
Wow.
when I adopted my daughter. So yeah, I'm going to say Ukraine.
Nice.
So my favorite place to travel, I think I have two. My favorite place in this country is Sedona in Arizona. It's so beautiful there, and I loved the feeling that I got when I was in Sedona. It's very like serene and grounding and just beautiful. Like when we went to Arizona, I went with me and my girls when my oldest daughter graduated college and my youngest high school at the same year. So we did like a little vacation, the three of us, and we all just loved Arizona. Like we would live there. But my favorite place outside of the country is probably the most beautiful that I've seen was Santorini in Greece. The Greek islands was just like
Wow.
that blue water, and all the houses have these like really pretty white domes, and it's just there's hot springs and active volcanoes, and it was
Wow,
just
that's
pretty.
awesome.
Yeah. What's
Uh,
your favorite place to travel? You guys
Beautiful.
have
Yeah.
traveled a lot.
Which one?
My favorite place had to two my top two had to be Greece and Prague
Greece.
because when I went to Greece, we got to see the ruins and it was beautiful and it was
Yeah.
awesome. And
Yeah.
it specifically said don't touch the rocks, and I took a small pebble and I kept it. So now I have now somewhere in the house I have a rock from Greece.
That's
I would have
awesome.
done the same thing. And I loved Prague too. Prague is beautiful. Yeah.
How about you, Gabe? Do you have a
Uh,
favorite place you've traveled to?
Well, let's think. In the US, I like Indianapolis. I also kind of like Charlotte, North Carolina. But outside of the US, I've never left the US. But this month, I think today's April. Yeah. But
Yeah.
next month, I'm going to Prague and Budapest and Norway
Oh,
and England, because so we have like we go from New York and we have like a 6-hour layover in England. Then after that we go to Prague, and also there's a band called Counterpart. Yeah, I mentioned them,
Counterparts.
and they're playing there, so we're gonna see them. So it's Prague, then Budapest, and then
That's
we
cool.
fly. Then it's
London,
London.
20 hours.
Okay, then we go to London for 20 hours. Hey,
He studies geography. He's good with all this stuff.
and then
Yeah.
well, I didn't know the exact
Yeah,
days.
Oslo for 3
Yeah,
days.
Oslo for 3 days because
And then home.
originally it was just like a few hours in
Wow.
Oslo, but we extended the layover because we love Norway to 3 days in Norway. It's awesome.
Oh,
then
nice.
go
Nice. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot, but
Oh, you're gonna love it.
yep. And
So is that a
time-wise,
family vacation or are you going with a
it's
band?
me and yeah, we're going with Counterparts, but it's
Okay.
just me and my mom that are
We're going to see Counterparts.
Yeah.
We're on the guest list, but we're not with them.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
Oh.
What's the difference?
You never know with you
Love it.
two.
We're not on tour with them.
Not on tour.
But we're seeing
Had
2
to
shows.
ask, had to ask.
Okay.
So,
Well,
Well,
same
that'll
thing.
be fun.
speaking of
Yeah.
travel,
I love Budapest too. So
Yeah.
they put paprika on everything now, like everything. I went to a Thai food restaurant and I was like, "There's paprika on this." Yeah, everything.
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
Nice. So, what is your favorite food from another country?
I was just thinking that when she said paprika.
Now I'm getting hungry. I'm getting hungry.
So it's
I
hard
think
for
I know.
me because I don't eat animal products on a regular basis. So when I travel, I'm not that strict with it, but like everyone's like, oh, gelato in Italy, but I don't eat milk. So I don't know what my favorite food from another country. It can't just be pasta.
I love pasta.
Mleko.
Yeah, me too. But
Check.
let me think on that. Go ahead, Laura, you go.
Well, Ukraine was great for vegans actually because like
Yeah.
everything is beets and cabbage, so you would love it there.
Oh,
But I'm gonna
Let's go.
say I love Korean food actually. I love cooking it at home. I love the chilies and the spice, the garlic and the chilies combines. So, and you could do a lot of their stuff, vegetarian. And I like all their little tiny spicy little vegetable dishes that they put out on the table before the meal. So
Mhm.
I like that. I like rice based with a lot of vegetables and stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I want
Yeah.
to go to Italy just to eat, though. Everyone says the food there
Oh my
is
God,
so
the
good. Like
pasta
I want to
there,
go to
the pasta there is
Tuscany
like
and just
air.
eat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so good.
But I do like food
So-
from all around the world.
Hungry.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I know, I'm hungry too. But I like
I know,
Korean
I-
food. I like Chinese food. I like Italian food. I like Mexican food. I like what else? I like all the food. Just
like
not
food.
animals.
I like all the food.
I
Just not-
I like Indian food a lot.
Oh, I love Indian
Mm,
food.
that's
Mhm.
good
Like
Tikka
too.
masala.
Masala?
Yeah.
Tikka
Mhm.
masala.
Nice,
Oh,
spicy.
amazing. I love it.
Love it.
Mhm.
I like
Or
when
even
you
like a nice
turn afterwards. Yeah.
Even
or
like
like a nice red curry.
yeah, or like
Yeah.
naan or something.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
delicious.
yeah.
Amazing.
I remember we went to this restaurant and they made this ice cream that looked like pasta. And I think my mom has a picture of it, and it would just taste like ice cream, but it looked like pasta.
Oh.
It was really funny.
Delish. Mm.
So
That's
I have 2 questions this time.
ooh.
What is your favorite planet? And if you could tell your 11-year-old self anything, what would you tell them?
Oh, that's a 2-part question.
Oh my gosh, what's my favorite planet?
My favorite planet.
Mm.
I think I'm gonna go with Pluto because no one really knows. It's like one minute it's a
Yeah.
planet, the next minute it's not. They're teaching all these like like nobody really
Just-
Pluto's like a little
yeah.
evasive. It's like the little one on the end. No one really knows what to do with it. It's kind of just hanging out there on the edge.
Kind of on the
Yeah.
edge of things, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know that Pluto has it has a heart-shaped lake and it's poisonous? It's really cool.
That's
You
my
can look it up.
planet.
I did not know that.
A poisonous heart-shaped lake. But see, I knew there was a
Wow.
reason.
There's one of the planets that rains diamonds. Which
Oh.
one is that?
Yeah,
Is that
it's.
Jupiter?
I think it's Uranus or Neptune. One
Okay,
of
well,
them.
that one I like, the raining diamonds part. I
I think
also
it's
like
I think
Saturn.
it's Uranus. Yeah,
Yeah, I
Saturn
also like
has.
Saturn. It's a little bit different, you know, it's got the rings and everything. It's a little bit
Yeah, it's
ornate.
cute.
It
And
likes to
there's a
accessorize like I do. So I like Saturn.
there's another planet that has bigger rings than Saturn, and it's has bigger rings by like 900,000 kilometers bigger than Saturn, and it's
Wow.
insane.
Wow.
I could tell my mom to text you guys the name. I just can't remember it
Yes,
right now.
please. Yeah.
It's kind of
Wow.
it's kind of funny that like I'm good at like on Earth geography and you're good at off Earth
Space.
geography.
Yeah, I all I study is space. That's all I do.
Nice.
Really.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
My
Do
favorite
you have a favorite? Yeah. Do you have
My
a
favorite planet is Mercury and Pluto because like they're the most underrated planets, to be
Yeah.
honest. They're cool.
I've always
Yeah.
liked Pluto
Yeah.
and also Saturn. Saturn's cool.
Saturn's cool to
This is
draw.
kinda
I like
cool,
drawing
too.
Saturn.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Venus, because you see it a lot, you know, and it's like
Mhm.
most like Earth, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So what is an invention you wish existed but doesn't yet?
Wait, there was the
Well-
11-year-old self question.
oh, yeah,
Yeah.
the 11-year-old self
What'd you tell
question.
Oh, never mind. I'll do answer that and then do
Okay. So the 11-year-old self, I think I would tell my 11-year-old self to not to be so like shy and afraid of things, of trying things, and like being bad at things. I think I was very embarrassed about not knowing how to do things, so I wouldn't try them. So I think I would tell my 11-year-old self it's okay to be bad at things. Just keep trying and practicing. And if you really want to do it, you'll get a little better each day. So that's what I wish I would have told myself.
That's a great answer. That's a
Yeah.
great answer. I wish I had known that too. I think my 11-year-old self, I would have I grew up the way I was raised, and it's part cultural too, is how women are raised to like for me and my family, and our values was always like women are supposed to put everybody else first, right? And I don't actually believe that anymore.
Yeah.
So I think it's important for me. I would have liked to have known, and I try to instill this in my daughters too, is to love yourself first. And it sounds so simple, but for me it was huge to get to that point, to learn how to do that. Because when you're taught that your value lies in what you do for other people, it was hard for me to realize like I had my own value within. And that was a pretty hard lesson for me to learn. And I didn't learn it until I was in my 40s. So I would have loved if someone had said to me at 11 to love yourself first. Like, you are important. You are valuable just the way you are.
Nice.
Oh.
Pretty
So-
deep, huh? Sorry to go deep.
Yeah. So back to the question. What is an invention you wish existed but doesn't yet?
Oh.
Ooh, I had more time to think about it now.
I wasn't thinking about
This
this
is
at all.
definitely okay. I wish, you know, that transporter thingy in Star Trek.
Oh,
I watched
yes.
Star
We
Trek.
say that all the
Star
time
Trek.
when we're driving. Yes.
Yes, I wish that existed. I wish I could just go into a thing and just be like,
Yeah,
and then
beam
just
me up, Scotty.
be at New York City, and then be in Boston.
Yeah,
That's
we
what I
say
wish.
that a lot because we travel. We don't live too close to each other, so we travel a
Yeah.
lot back and forth
And we
to
could
see each
avoid
other.
Connecticut.
Avoiding Connecticut would be clutch,
We
actually.
could avoid Connecticut. Yes.
Yeah.
The traffic is
Sorry, honey, Connecticut. Wait, what's the demonym for that? Connecticutian? Connectication? I don't know.
Connecticut.
Communication.
I don't know.
oh, the kinetic travel, you mean?
No, I mean of people in Connecticut. What's the demonym?
Oh, people Connecticut.
Connecticut.
There's a
Connecticut.
demon in Connecticut?
No, there's the demonyms are like Delawarean or New
Oh.
Yorker or
Con-
European.
Connectication.
Oh,
Connecticarians?
Connecticut. I don't.
Connecticut. Any
Oh, that's a good question.
Connecticans.
any
Connecticans.
any Connecticans
Connecticans.
watching sorry.
Yes,
we
sorry
love
to
you.
anybody who
We
actually
love you.
lives
To
there.
anybody
We
who
just-
lives there.
Driving through is not fun.
And you know that it's not fun.
Yeah.
What do you
Everybody
call?
hates the I-95.
Yeah.
What is your favorite TV show when you were younger? Or when you were our age, actually?
When I was 11.
Mine is easy. Mine was the Brady Bunch.
Okay, I love the
Because-
Brady Bunch.
Yeah, I always wanted to be. Oh, look, I just Googled it. It's a kinetic, I can't say it. Kinetic cutter? Cuter? Kinetic cuter. Kinetic cutter.
Okay.
That's
Any Connecticuters watching
Kinetic cutters.
Connecticuters. Any Connecticuters
We
watching?
love
Sorry.
you.
Yep, here.
We love you.
Yep.
Yeah,
just
I
take
love the
the
Brady Bunch
I-95.
because I always wanted a big family. I always wanted, I was alone a lot as a kid, and that's why I was listening to music and, reading a lot and just kind of doing my thing. So I always wanted a big family. So I love the Brady Bunch. Yeah.
I love Lucy.
Mhm.
And she was
Hey, I'm
really
over
funny.
here.
Yes, I love Lucy. That was one of my favorite shows. And I also love Laverne and Shirley.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Two roommates doing their own thing.
Shamil, Shamazel.
Jamil Shamazel. Yeah, I liked Laverne and Shirley.
So, anything to add before we wrap it up?
Anything to
Just I just really enjoy this. I love what you guys are doing here. Doing your own thing, doing your own podcast. I think it's great. And just for people to check out our IG and our CD on Bandcamp. And,
I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
Can I ask
Uh-huh.
you guys a question?
Sure,
So
sure.
what is it, you've both been on tour with some pretty major bands. So what is that like as a child? Like what's
it's
your most
actually-
fun thing to do?
One of my
when
most
you're on
fun
tour.
things to do is just eat pizza and candy all day and then sit backstage and talk to the bands.
Yep.
that sounds amazing.
Pretty much
I
it.
know, right?
And somehow
So-
you don't pass out from all the sugar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm used to
Sometimes.
sugar. I eat it all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Sugar!
is pizza your favorite tour food?
Yeah, I remember once we went to this country. I don't remember it, but they put mustard on pizza, and I was like,
What?
I am not eating this. So I just ate
Oh
the
my
crust.
gosh.
That would be like
Yeah.
death penalty in Italy.
Right?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
probably would be.
It's almost as bad as pineapple.
Well, pineapple
Yeah,
is
no,
not
you
that bad.
Mm.
Come on.
I don't
Lucy, what's your
know.
opinion on pineapple pizza?
It's decent.
No.
Okay.
I
All
love
right, these
pineapple too, just
youngins.
not on pizza. Yeah. I love
These
pineapple.
youngins,
Okay, well,
And I really, it's important for us to see young kids get involved in our scene because that's how it keeps going. So keep doing what you're doing because your voice matters.
yep.
Yay!
And our
Yeah.
CD is dedicated to the next gen. So yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
I noticed on the CD it says volume 1. So are you guys gonna make a volume 2?
Oh, very, very, very good question, Lucy. We have already been approached by many bands that want to be on the volume 2, although there hasn't been an official we
kinda
haven't
left it
officially
open,
decided yet,
Just
but
in case. Yeah.
you
Stay
stay
tuned.
tuned. Yeah, stay tuned.
I could draw the cover for it. I like to draw a lot. And yeah.
I've seen some of your
Oh.
artwork, Lucy. You're very talented.
Okay. I would love
Yay.
that. I would love to see what you got.
You know what?
Right.
That's another thing that I would tell my 11-year-old self, because my family was very strict with school, like book smart and not the art smart. And so I loved to draw when I was a kid and I loved art, but it was more focused on like reading and school. And so I would tell my 11-year-old self, like, follow your passions and your dreams too, because do what makes you happy, right? Because drawing, I used to love to draw, but yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that.
nice. Yeah,
So
drawing.
keep on with that, Lucy. Keep on doing what you love.
Most of the things I like to watch is space, learning about weather, looking at
Mhm.
cool planes, and just drawing. That's mainly how my day goes.
that.
And I'm gonna keep playing instruments all day. Because
Love
that's
it.
what I do.
We're going to be going to your show soon, Gabe.
Yeah. on your
Me,
When I met Gabe, he was behind the kids at the pit merch table, and I asked them what they were saving up for. And do you remember what you told me?
Didn't I just say
What
like
the money
recording
goes to?
equipment and music stuff?
Yeah, because I was like, "Oh, do you guys, go out to eat with this money?" And they were like, he was like, "What?" He's like, "No, I'm going on tour."
Huh?
Amazing.
So
He's like, "I'm saving for my
all kids in the
band."
pit, like all kids in the pit merch, like pretty much all of it goes to my instrument equipment and recording equipment. So
That's
Awesome.
incredible. So cool.
Well, maybe you and Lucy can start a band.
we're trying
but
to.
we're trying
That's
to.
awesome.
We have
Yep.
the band name. It's called Chemical Candies. Me and my dad came up with it.
Oh, I love
Love
that.
it.
Oh, the squish.
Love
Is
it.
this the squish
Yep.
part of the interview?
Yes, this is
No.
squishy part.
I love my
I don't
squish.
have a squish.
Aw.
You are a squish, Lori.
I'm just gonna I am a squish. Yeah.
Lori is a
I'm gonna
squish.
hug myself.
I'll send you a squishmallow. I have too many. They took over my the
Aw,
house.
that's sweet.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, thank you guys for taking time out to hang with
Yes,
us. We
thank
think you're
you.
super cool. We love what you're doing.
Thanks.
Yes. This was
Alright.
great. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah. Well, thanks to Lori and Gina for joining me today. And thanks to all of you for watching or listening. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on Spotify and other streaming platforms. Until next week. Bye.
Bye, besties.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.